Welcome back, everybody. Officer J here. This is going to be the first of two videos. First one's going to upload today. Second one's going to upload in about 2 to 3 days, which should be Wednesday or Thursday. So make sure you're a subscriber, like the video, leave a comment. This story is going to pretty much be my first encounter with a zombie. Now, of course, this isn't a real zombie, but at the time, I thought it was. So let me set the stage a little bit. So I already explained in a previous video that in law enforcement, we go to all kind of different calls. You know, it isn't just people breaking the law. We go to medicals because sometimes we're the closest emergency personnel to get there. So a lot of times we can render aid before like an ambulance or a first responder, like as an EMT or fire department gets there. So we get this call about this elderly lady. And I'm going to have to mention the race because the race does play a role in this story. So elderly white lady, mid 80s, early 90s. She was sent home from the hospital on hospice. If any of you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much where they say, okay, hey, look, there's nothing else we can do for you. They send you back home, you know, and it's pretty much just waiting for you to go. So she's at home on hospice. She has her hospice nurse there. Her hospice nurse gives the 911 call. It gets transferred to my local agency. And she says, hey, I think she's gone. She's been in the bathroom, on the toilet. She hasn't been breathing for 10 to 15 minutes. Now that's from the time that she you know, saw her, then contacted 911. 911 transferred the call to us, and then we got dispatched there. So by the time that we got there, according to, you know, the information based off of what the hospice nurse says, we're talking about maybe 20 to 25 minutes of supposed not breathing. Now, I get there first, you know, shortly after one of my coworkers, he will arrive, you know, because if you're going to have to end up, you know, rendering aid, it's best to have more than one, because CPR, if you ever do it, you'll get tired out fast, and you'll notice that. So we're walking in this house, and immediately, you know, we noticed the type of stuff she had in her house. But I mean, people have all kind of things in their house. So she has rebel flags, don't tread on me flags, paintings of, like, you know, plantations from the older days, where you can also tell it's like minority workers, but they're not really workers or slaves. But it's, you know, when you think about it, going back, you know, all those things are signs. At the time, you're just like, oh, okay, whatever. But you're just trying to get to the person that you need to get to. So we're walking in. The hospice nurse meets us, and she's like, you know, hey, she's back here. She's like, yeah, she's gone, you know. And she just started giving me a breakdown. We look at her, you know, the woman slouched over, and you cannot see any, like, chest rising, stomach moving, any signs of breathing. So we're just talking and talking. She's like, yeah, you know, and then she's telling us, like, yeah, I've been with this lady for, you know, she got sent home like 2 weeks ago, and she was pretty much giving us a rundown, like, yeah, it's been all downhill, and, you know, everything that a hospital, because she's an experienced hospital nurse, so she's giving us this whole thing, telling us this whole thing. So after she finished talking, you know, just to check, because I'm not a medical professional, even though she is, you know, just to clear myself of any liability. You know, I would hate to say that somebody would be like, well, you know, he didn't render aid, or he didn't even attempt to save her, you know, whatever. So I walk up to the lady, and I, like, you know, check for a pulse first, because, I mean, before you start doing anything, you need to check for a pulse, because, you know, maybe it's just shallow breathing, maybe it's, you know, just breathing here and there, or not breathing whatsoever. You know, you never know until you actually check for it. Maybe they are breathing, it's just, it could be a larger person and you can't even see the chest rise or the stomach moving. But that's a whole nother subject. So I go here, I walk up to the lady. Now, granted, like I said, this lady is in the bathroom sitting on the toilet. So, you know, it already has a smell, but, you know, it could be from her bowel movements, it could be from her body, but I mean, it could be anything. But she said it was a short period of time, so I doubt it would have been, you know, from her body being, you know, decomposing or whatever. So I go to place my hand on her neck to check for a pulse. Well, not really hand, but, you know, the finger. So not even a full second of me checking for a pulse, this woman just pops back up And her first, she looks at me, and her first words, phrase, whatever you want to call it, she just screams out at the top of her lungs, "Get your black hands off of me, insert N-word here." Now, I'm sitting here, processing everything that just happened. We're going to get to the whole what she said. But, I have a medical professional on scene that said, "Oh no, this woman was, totally gone." So she has that. I observed this woman for about 2 minutes myself, not breathing. And when I go there, when I touch her, she just pops up. So no matter what she says, that wasn't even the biggest shock. It was the fact that she just popped up. Now, the super funny part about this story is my coworker, I haven't mentioned this guy. My coworker, he's gone. He was there with me. The moment she popped up, he left. He not, no, hold on, let me not say that. He ran. He's like, and I can hear him running down the hallway saying, "Nope, not today." This guy ran out, and at this time when he's running out, the emergency, the paramedics are coming in now, and they're like, "What are you going?" He's like, "She's in there." That's the only thing he said was. So he goes there, and once I do everything I explain to the paramedics that goes on, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, "Bro, what's going on?" He's like, "Hey man, I didn't sign up for zombies." He's like, "I signed up for if people need help." He's like, "Hell, even if a shootout happens." He's like, "Zombies is not what I get paid for." Now, once again, I like to tell people all the time, I was like, I don't know if the woman was dead, and in her body, mind, soul, even in the afterlife, she felt, not even when I'm dead am I going to let a black man touch me. And she just had to come back from wherever she was at, from the greater beyond, to be like, "Get your black hands off me." But on a realistic note, it could have just been improper perceptions from her hospice nurse. She could have been, it obviously wasn't a nap. It was probably some little medical condition where, she went into a little mini coma, I guess you could say. I mean, once again, not a medical professional, so I don't know if I'm using this terminology right, but sometimes people, she was slouched over. She was on death's door, so she slouched over, and it could have just been like that particular moment whenever I touched her by the neck, just whatever. But yeah, so that incident, ever since then, me and this other officer, we've always joked about it for the past few years. Like, "Bro, remember that time, whenever we dealt with zombies or whatever?" Like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, and I joke, I'm like, "Bro, you left me." I'm like, at this point, you just flat out left me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm letting you know now. Zombies, I don't deal with zombies." But that was the story about the zombie thing. At this point, I'm pretty sure the lady's gone. It's been a couple of years. It's been almost a decade since this story has happened. So, other video's gonna come out later. It's gonna be more of a Q&A style, not really story. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends.